Tube amplifiers. Introduced in the 1930s by companies like Electrostring and later popularized by Fender, these are the undisputed traditional choice for guitarists and rely on vacuum tubes to amplify the instrument's electrical signal. Originating in the early 20th century, they became the backbone of rock and roll because of the way they compress a signal and distort when pushed to high volumes. What makes them unique is their warmth and responsiveness to a player's touch, creating a dynamic interaction where digging into the strings produces a gritty bite while a lighter touch stays clean. Despite being heavy, fragile, and requiring regular maintenance, like replacing worn-out valves, they remain the gold standard for tone in studios and on stages worldwide, with legendary examples including the Fender Deluxe Reverb, the Vox AC30, and the Marshall JCM 800. Solid-state amplifiers, first appearing in 1962 from the K Musical Instrument Company. This technology emerged as a reliable, lightweight alternative to fragile glass tubes, utilizing transistors and diodes instead to boost the signal. They are characterized by their immense clarity, high headroom, and a sharp, immediate response that does not naturally distort at high volumes. Because they deliver a pristine, clean tone, they became highly favored by jazz players and musicians who rely heavily on effects pedals to shape their sound. They are incredibly durable, virtually maintenance-free, and generally much more affordable than their tube counterparts, making them a staple for practicing and touring alike, exemplified by iconic units like the Roland JC120 Jazz Chorus and the Orange Super Crush. Hybrid amplifiers. Introduced in the 1970s by Music Man as a deliberate bridge between eras, these units blend both worlds by placing a vacuum tube in the circuit to shape the initial tone while using solid-state components for efficiency. This design was created to offer players the organic warmth and natural harmonic distortion of a tube amp without the heavy weight, high cost, and fragile nature of a full tube setup. By splitting the work between distinct technological styles, the amplifier stays reliable and lightweight while still giving the guitarist a bit of that classic valve behavior and response. It serves as a practical middle ground for musicians who want a touch of vintage character without dealing with a fully analog, high-maintenance rig, finding popular expression in designs like the Marshall Valve State series and the Vox AV series. Acoustic amplifiers. Developed in the 1980s by companies like Trace Elliot to keep pace with the rise of piezo pickups, these are specialized systems engineered specifically to deliver a completely flat, uncolored frequency response that accurately reproduces the natural sound of an acoustic guitar. Unlike electric guitar amps, which are designed to color and distort the tone, these act more like compact public address systems, featuring wide-range speakers and tweeters to capture high-end sparkle. They frequently include dedicated microphone inputs, built-in anti-feedback filters, and subtle ambient effects like reverb and chorus to enhance the natural resonance of a hollow-body instrument. For performing singer-songwriters, they serve as a self-contained performance rig that ensures the acoustic guitar sounds exactly like itself, only louder, with market favorites including the Fishman Loudbox, the AER Compact 60, and the Boss Singer series. Bass amplifiers. Introduced in 1951 by Fender alongside the launch of the Precision Bass, these specialized units are engineered from the ground up to handle the massive, low-frequency energy generated by a bass guitar. Because lower frequencies require significantly more electrical power and air movement to be heard clearly alongside other instruments, these setups utilize immense wattage and much larger, reinforced speaker enclosures to prevent low-end distortion. What makes them unique is their emphasis on maintaining a tight, punchy low-frequency foundation, while often incorporating a direct output feature to send the signal directly to a live mixing console or studio recording desk. They are an absolute necessity for holding down the rhythm section in any genre of music, with highly revered and widely used industry standards, including the Ampeg, the Gallion-Kruger 800RB, and the dark glass microtubes. Digital modeling amplifiers. Emerging in 1996 when Line 6 introduced the Axis 212, these modern devices use advanced computer processors and software algorithms to digitally replicate the exact sound, circuitry, and behavior of dozens of different classic amps and effects. They represent a massive shift in music technology, allowing a player to switch from a vintage American clean tone to a high-gain British stack with the press of a single button. What sets them apart is their incredible versatility and built-in features, which often include headphone jacks, direct recording outputs, and smartphone integration for deep tone editing. They matter because they democratized access to rare and expensive gear, providing a massive palette of sounds in a single, lightweight enclosure, perfect for home practice and modern studios. Led by incredibly popular models like the Boss Katana, the Positive Grid Spark, and the Fender Mustang. Profiling amplifiers. Introduced in 2011 by Kemper, this specialized subset of digital technology abandoned pre-programmed factory simulations in favor of letting players take an exact sonic snapshot of their own physical rigs. Instead of guessing how a circuit works, the unit sends a series of test tones and white noise through a real tube amplifier, monitors how the signal changes, and creates a highly accurate digital blueprint of that unique sound. This allowed touring guitarists and studio engineers to leave their fragile, priceless vintage heads at home, while taking the exact tonal D and A on the road inside a single rack space or floorboard. This approach completely revolutionized the industry by focusing on absolute replication rather than approximation, permanently cementing its place in professional settings via the industry standard Kemper Profiler series. Capture amplifiers. Pioneered in 2020 by Neural DSP with the launch of the Quad Cortex, this cutting-edge evolution utilizes advanced machine learning and artificial neural networks to clone analog hardware. Rather than relying on static audio snapshots, these systems use biomimetic artificial intelligence algorithms that perceive sound similarly to human hearing, mapping out the highly complex, non-linear dynamics of tubes and cabinets simultaneously. The result is a digital duplicate that feels nearly indistinguishable from the real thing, exhibiting real-world touch sensitivity, volume knob cleanup, and organic power amp sag. They represent the current absolute pinnacle of portable guitar technology, offering unprecedented processing power and touchscreen workflows across game-changing hardware platforms.